Alright guys, welcome back to another quick video. This one's going to be just kind of bits and pieces of me getting the rifle all together here. So just got the barrel taken off from that gun, the Remington 700 with the Boyd's walnut stock. Man, I'll tell you, you can tell it's been on there for a little while. Some crusty threads. Can I get them? Yeah, it's about as good as focus I can get. So here's the action, ready to go. Just put the Timney trigger in. That was kind of a bitch to do because anybody who's watching that's put a new trigger in a Remington knows probably already what I'm talking about. And some people probably never, don't really have problems with it, but I had one hell of a time getting that bolt catch to spring correctly. Now I bent the Timney trigger correctly back to that notch and blah blah blah, and I watched some videos and read some manuals and how to fix it. And what I finally had to do was take the thing and the bolt catch piece. The spring had plenty of tension, but I had to take the bolt catch piece and slowly grind both sides. I went from 600 grit to like 800 grit to 1000 grit, and then I jumped up to 1000 to 1500 grit just to kind of polish it off. But after I did that, it's working flawlessly, working good, and I'm happy with it. So that's the Timney trigger I got installed finally. It took me about 2 days to do because it took me a day of figuring out how to fix the problem, and then a day to get it apart, and then a day to fix, research the problem and how to fix it, and so on and so forth. And here's the barrel about to go on. One thing I do, which I think a lot of people probably disagree with me, but I've put in 6 gun rifles together and done it on all of them. It's never came apart. I know other people who do this as well, but I put a little bit of no-sees on my threads. I know there's some people on YouTube that, you don't put a lot, just put a dab. Put a dab on a couple spots. That's even too much. I'll wipe some of that off, but there we go. Just put a few dabs around the edge. And yeah, I know there's some people on YouTube that are highly against that, which I'm not quite sure why. I guess they think the barrel's going to spin off, but I put together 6 rifles. I know other people have done it, and the gunsmith who apprenticed me, he did it, and I've never had a single barrel come off. Actually, the bench rest barrel, the bench rest gun I got right there, I had it done, and I'm about, 1,000 rounds or so into it now. So, I don't know, maybe a little more than 1,000, can't remember. So, barrel's off, stock's off, and I will get you guys back as soon as the trigger's on, and I'll get you guys back once the barrel's on. Alright guys, got the barrel on, torque down. Now let's make sure this is go gauge 6.5 Creedmoor, which works for the 22 Creedmoor. Well, works for all the Creedmoors actually. So there's a go gauge. Oh, yeah, I gotta get you guys so you can see, and me so I can do it. There's the handle all the way down. Beautiful. no-go gauge. So here is a, you guys aren't going to be able to read it anyway, I don't think, but no-go 6.5 Creedmoor. And right there, locks right there. Give you a better look maybe. There it is. So go fits. No go does not. Oh, and it's not even camming enough to take the no go out of the chamber, so I'm gonna have to push a rod up there because I don't want to loosen that nut. Because check go one more time. Let me get the no go out of there. All right, so we got the no go out. Putting in the go gauge. Come on now. Yeah. A little bit tight, but it doesn't take too much pressure. Definitely going to be a tight chamber. It's gonna, the head spacing, not chamber. The head spacing is going to be a little on the tight side, which I'm okay with, really, because I'm going to be using strictly reloads for this. I mean, I may, when 22 Creedmoor comes out in factory ammo, I think you can get some factory ammo right now for it, like Horizon, I think, might, or no, Horizon builds the rifles. Ally Ammunition, I think, they sell 22 Creedmoor factory. So either way, go gauge goes all the way down to the bottom. We'll do no gauge one more time. That's it. Right there. As far as it goes. I'm not going to jam it any harder than that, because and it will catch the no-go to extract it. The last time I just showed you guys, I wasn't quite pushing on it enough. So there you go. No-go does not go. Go does go. So good to go there. Let's get the rest of the rifle put together. Alright guys, finished product. The new 22 Creedmoor is built. So yeah, let me get you off the tripod. It's gonna get a little shaky, but I'm gonna have to do that to get a little closer for you. Alright, let me sit down. Alright, I'll run over some of the problems I had. I know I'm not the only one. Like I said, so this is a Remington 700 footprint. This is a normal action, not a blueprinted. I did lap the recoil lug a little bit, but that's about it. I didn't do anything else to the action. We'll see how it shoots, you know. I mean, that can maybe come later down the road. You know, we'll see. So it's a Remington 700 footprint, MDT field stock with a factory Remington 700 action with a regular SHILEN. It is a SHILEN match, not a select match. So a SHILEN match grade 22 Creedmoor 1 in 6 twist. So yeah, 25.5 inches, I think. It might be 26. Let me see if the barrel thing says. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna be able to see it anyways. Match grade barrel, Remington 22 Creedmoor, A17 contour, 1 in 6 twist, 25 inch stainless steel barrel. So yeah, I'll run through a couple of the problems I had. So I kind of already said one of them. One of them was the chimney trigger, but that has nothing to do with MDT. The chimney the Trigger Tech trigger. I say chimney a lot because I buy a lot of chimney triggers. This is the first Trigger Tech I bought, so I had a real bitch of a time getting that bolt catch, bolt release, or bolt catch to cycle correctly. And finally, I did have to order new trigger pins because one of mine was bent. Not sure why or how. Whoever put them in bent one little side of one end of them. It wasn't bent like halfway down the trigger pin. It was bent right at the end, and it was a decent bend. Actually, I don't even know how they quite fitted in there to begin with. But either way, so I knew that was going to have to happen as soon as I pulled them out. I was like, yeah, okay, I got to get that. So I bought some stainless steel trigger pins from JA Precision? JA something. And boy, that company's great. Hold on. They ship to me really quick. Exceptionally quick, actually. A lot quicker than, I ordered, and I had it within a week. I'd say 4 days. Oh, I'm trying to get the actual company here. Right here. JA Outdoors. Firearm Solution. So yes, shout out that company. They did a really good job. So I bought some Remington trigger pins, and that still didn't fix it. But I'm glad I got some stainless steel trigger pins anyways. So what I ended up having to do was take that mag catch out. I checked the spring. The spring had plenty of retention, and what I ended up doing is lapping it on my surface plate, and I just start off with 600 grit, lapped both sides, went to I think 900, and then 1500 just to polish it. I had to do that 3 times, and then finally it's working pretty good now. We're working pretty much flawlessly. I haven't had it catch up yet, but when I get out on the range, it'll probably happen for the first time out on the damn range. But yeah, it's working good. So, other thing, which I was kind of a little bit disappointed with MDT for this, it wasn't that bad. I shouldn't say it like that because it's going to make it sound. This magazine, boy, fit awful. Didn't fit awful. It fit extremely tight. So obviously, I went to the internet for searching to search for the fix, or if anybody else had that problem and the fix to it. And I did notice MDT has something on their site saying if you've never used an AICS magazine, it's going to feel different than any other magazine because it's going to feel tighter. And that was part of it. I will give them that. That was part of it. Because this is the first AICS magazine I've ever used. So that was part of it. But what I ended up having to do was file down sandpaper both sides of the magazine. There was a little bit of a molding line here, a little bit of a molding line there, and on the inside I had to, and I'm talking probably like 2,000s, 3,000s, 5,000s tops. Like, I don't even think it was quite 5,000s. Yeah, maybe around 5,000s, yeah. Of filing. It wasn't that much, so I don't want to make it sound like it was a ton in a horrible fit. But boy, this was really stiff going in at first. And it's still a little stiff now. But I noticed it's breaking in. Breaking in a lot, you know, going in a lot more, and the more I put it in and out, it works in better every time. So that was about it. The other quick little thing was the back of the tang on the Remington didn't want to sit flush at the beginning. But that was just a little bit of fitment issue. I didn't have to take any material off or anything. I just had to kind of tweak around the action in the barrel a little bit, and finally it dropped in pretty well. But it took 4 or 5 times to really work it in. I was trying to figure out if it was catching on the barrel nut, if it was the, you know, if it was the recoil lug, or if I was doing something wrong. But it was just, it wasn't quite seated back enough, I guess. And the first couple times I did it, I really had to, you know, press it back against the recoil lug pretty good to get the tang to sit flush. But other than all that, those 3 things, everything's good now. Everything's working real good. Everything's, I haven't tried feeding from the mag yet because I have no reloaded ammo. I tried feeding an empty case and that worked horribly, but it didn't have the bullet to ramp it in there, so I expected that. So everything's working good now. I would say the hardest part was the Trigger Tech trigger, and that's nothing on them either. You know, they give you the trigger, and you know it has the piece to hit the bolt catch little nub. So I mean, you just got to bend it. You do. It even says in there you're gonna have to bend it to fit a little bit. So yeah, it had nothing to do with Trigger Tech. It was basically came down to the Remington action there. Just cheap quality. You know, Remington has fallen a long way. And if you really think about it, that is such a horrible system. Having the bolt release here on the side, or I think another company has it over here somewhere, but I know a lot of the new stuff have just the bolt release button right here, and that's just such a superior system. Remington's old bolt catch and release, you know, release on the bottom side of the trigger, man, that's just such a horrible I mean, it's worked for a long time, but it just, if Remington held extremely tight tolerances now like they used to, and they used to hold, I guess not extremely tight tolerances, but really good tolerances back in the day, then it wasn't a big deal. But now it's a lot more sloppy, so you get a lot of fitment issues. I don't quite know how old this action is. I know it's not really old. I know it's not extremely new. Like I said, this is a new gun, but it was bought in quite a while ago. It is the newer version of Remington, though. It's after bankruptcy, and they've come back, and blah, blah, blah. And so, but either way, you know, everything worked out fine. Got it together. And I kind of like a little bit of tinkering anyways. If it fit right in, I guess it'd kind of be a little bit boring. I'm that type of person to begin with. But I just wanted to let you guys know that stuff if you ever want to do this. So I didn't mind fixing all this stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I'm just kind of throwing it you guys away just to let you guys know what to expect. And maybe it does just fall into place for you guys, you know, for one of you or whatever. But all in all, wasn't bad, wasn't hard to fix, just a few piece of sandpaper, a diamond grindstone, and that's about it. And some Remington trigger pins. So that fixed all my issues. Other than that, it is ready to go. You'll be starting to see it on the channel here very shortly. I didn't have to add any length to pull spacers because the way MDT sent it to me is about my size. So here, let me flip it over so you guys can see it the other way. That is the new bipod I'm going to try out from CV. So I'm going to get my Match Pro on there and my rail and go from there. I'll tell you, I like this stock. It fits really good in my hand. I like everything about it. And to let you guys know, it does have bottom M-locks as well. So yeah, it's pretty much like the XRS, a little bit different. XRS has a lot more compatibility and quite a few more features. I have noticed that, but we have another build coming up on the channel shortly. I don't know about shortly, probably another couple months, but it'll be perfect because everything will be coming to me once shooting is good, once mud season's over with and all that. So we'll be doing another build. I've kind of hinted around to what it's going to be anyways, but I won't fully tell you what it is right this second. But yes, definitely coming soon, another build, and this will be on the channel very shortly. Other than that, I think it's good. Oh yeah, the diamond trigger, or it's not diamond, it's Trigger Tech Premier or something like that. I like it. I love it. I like the straight curve. I don't mind bowed curve, as you know, a bowed trigger. But I like straight triggers. So I'll try and get a pull weight, and it's I think set at I think 3 pounds from the factory. So I think I can get it all the way down to 1.5 pounds or something like that. So I'm gonna get it as light as I can anyway. As you guys, I like my bench rest trigger is like 5 ounces or something like that, or 10 ounces tops. You breathe on it and it'll go off. It is safe though. It is. I don't know if it's full drop safe, but I have banged my. I've done the typical drop safe by just or drop test by just bouncing the buttstock on the ground, and the trigger never went off. So by all means, I wouldn't be freaking trusting it. You know, that thing's always pointed down range, as is all of my guns and rifles. But that one, yeah, you breathe and the trigger goes off. But yeah, no, I bounced it several times on the back, on its butt pad there on the concrete, and never went off. But yes, either way, MDT, great chassis, love it. Few minor fitments here and there, and that's it. Alright guys, I appreciate it. You guys will be seeing this on the channel shortly. Gotta start reloading for it now. We'll see how accurate it is. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, I'm bringing you back one more time. I forgot one other thing. And this is on MDT. And like I said, it's not a huge thing because every action's a little different. And just because it says it's made for the Remington 700 short action, Remington kinda, you know, I mean, with their quality issues, some things fit a little snugger than others. But this bottom, let's see if I can get you guys a shot here. Oh, this bottom screw right here, the front action screw, front meaning towards the barrel front, I had to file, I don't know, I'd say about 3 thousandths maybe off that, because it was contacting the bolt lug and it wasn't allowing me to you know, rock the bolt down. It wasn't allowing me to manipulate the bolt. It was kind of locking it in place. So that was the other piece. So that's like 4 things I had to kind of tinker with. Other than that, I think that was the last thing. That was the last thing that I had to mess with. So I just filed down the end of the bolt just a little bit. Yet again, another quick little fix. Wasn't anything, you know, hard. So don't think I'm complaining or bad mouthing, you know, MDT or anything. Like, it was all quick fixes, and I fully understand they got to kind of make everything fit a certain action. So either way, worked good. Love the stock. You know, I was gonna, if the mag didn't fit, then I was gonna kind of bitch about that a little bit more, but it ended up working into place really well, so not that big of a deal. But I know a lot of other people online didn't quite fare so well, and it's like they said, shouldn't have to spend, you know, a lot of money on a chassis and magazines not work. But either way, this worked good, and you know, it is only a $300 chassis, so can't really bitch, and I'm not bitching. So those are the 4 things that I kind of ran into for problems. All quick fixes, and everything's working smoothly now. All fixes that you could work out without a lathe or a mill or, you know, or anything. Just a vise and pair of files, and you're good to go. So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one.